Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So Matt Walsh is currently trending yet again. Why is he trending, you may be wondering? Well, Matt Walsh seems to say stuff that a lot of people, you either agree with him or you disagree with him. But one of the things that I cannot stand in politics nowadays is the left attacks the left and the right also attacks the right. It is really absurd what's going on. Not only do the left attack the right all the time and the right attacks the left, but it seems like in your own party, it's this groupthink, cult-like mentality where if you're not part of the inner group, if you don't believe in every single thing that the people in that group believe in, you are then kicked out of the actual group, you're ostracized, and you're left on an island somewhere by yourself. And I don't think that is a good thing at all. I think you need to accept the fact that not everybody is going to agree with literally everything that you actually agree with. And for me personally, I don't go left, I don't go right, I go deeper into Jesus. And I think a lot of people need to actually do just that, especially people that are on the right and on the left. We need to bend the knee and ask God for significant forgiveness, because my goodness me, is the world an absolute mess at the moment. And attacking other conservatives or people that you seem to think they are conservative isn't going to help the situation any further. Anyway, two things can be true at the same time, but people being people don't seem to think that. They've got this very skewed version of their own truth going on in their head, and they don't seem to think about the other side of what's maybe going on and what's actually taking place. And they just love to go after something that someone has said, for example, Matt Walsh, and not agreeing that the RNC should have given Amber Rose, who, by the way, his only claim to fame is the slut walk, as well as having a OnlyFans account and millions of people on social media, which, by the way, I don't think are really going to decide to vote for Trump because Amber Rose told them to. I think that's a bit ridiculous if you ask me, but we'll get into that in just a moment. So people were really going after Matt Walsh for saying that we shouldn't have given a person that's literally decided to vote for Trump a primetime speaking slot. And look, whatever side of the aisle you stand on, I think it is absolutely ridiculous and absurd that we are actually going after a person that doesn't like the fact that the RNC hosted a person like Amber Rose to do a talk. Like, who the hell cares? I think there's much bigger fish to fry and there's much more important things going on in the world. But people will be people, and they will just look for things to criticize other people about. If you've got a difference of opinion, it's like that groupthink, cult-like mentality. I'm going to kick you out. I'm going to ostracize you. The whole kit and caboodle in the 9 yards. Now, I actually agree to some degree with Matt Walsh, right? I think it's pointless also at the same time to worry too much about it, but nevertheless, the Republican Party seems to associate themselves with conservatives. So obviously, you want conservative type values to be instilled and produced on a stage. But having someone like Amber Rose on stage, who I believe is pro-abortion, also, as like the OnlyFans accounts alludes to, pro-sexual explicit content being online, which means pro-pornography, which ain't good, and several other things that probably doesn't espouse a great thing if you want to consider yourself to be a conservative. But anyway, maybe she's changed. Who knows? But she actually, as she was speaking, 50% off her OnlyFans account. Maybe she has changed, guys. Who knows? But anyway, let's get into this, shall we? Some thoughts on this Amber Rose thing. Since it's apparently extremely controversial to say that the Republicans shouldn't give a primetime convention speaking slot to one of the founders of the slut walk. Very interesting, right? First of all, maybe Rose has totally changed and had some kind of conversion experience. There's no evidence of that. Only that she likes Donald Trump now. I mean, if more people like Donald Trump, so be it. Fantastic. I'm all for that. Like, I'd much rather more people be for Donald Trump than against. But anyway, only there are many, many, many examples of conservatives rallying around their new celebrity hero just because the person likes Trump, only to be humiliated and betrayed by that same person shortly after. So this whole idea of, the celebrity says you must vote. Who the hell cares? I don't care at all if a celebrity tells me which way I should vote. It's none of their business which way I should vote. They've got their own prerogative and their own opinion. And the problem today is people seem to worship and idolize celebrities far too much. Now, if Amber Rose told you guys, hey, jump off a cliff for me, would you do it? No. Vote for Donald Trump because I'm doing that. Would you do it still? No. Here's the deal. Critical thinking is employed right here, or should be, I should say, whereby you do your own research. Don't just go off what Amber Rose has said because she's had a conversion of sorts. You do your own damn research and you find out reasons as to why you want to vote for Donald Trump for yourself. That's the way things should be, right? Anyway, this has happened countless times. I've called it ahead of time in nearly every case and been screamed at by conservatives the way you all are screaming at me now. Hopefully this is the first time I'll be wrong about something like this, but I highly doubt it. Second, even if there has been some kind of conversion, that doesn't mean you take someone who has been a conservative for 42 seconds and turn them into a mouthpiece for your movement. Again, how many times do we need to learn this lesson? The problem is she's got millions of followers. So obviously the RNC has gone, oh, this would be great for young people to actually hear and see the example of Amber Rose. She's changed her mind and now she's voting for Trump. The inspiration, let's go. We need to convert all these millions of followers. I don't think that's going to work, if I'm being honest with you. But I could be wrong. Matt Walsh could be wrong as well. A person who has been wrong about everything up until approximately yesterday morning needs to be learning and listening, not giving primetime speeches at a political convention. Indeed. Third, just to give you an idea of how new Rose's conversion is, if there has been any at all, it was just this past March that she praised the Satanic Temple for helping a lot of people by making sure they get abortions. That was March of this year, to reiterate that point. She has not even pretended to disavow that point of view or any of her far left views, apart from her dislike of Trump. If it is outrageous and offensive to suggest that a person such as this is perhaps not fit to be prime-time Republican speaker, then conservatism as a movement is in an even worse shape than I thought. In conclusion, come on, guys, what the hell? And I have to agree with Matt on that point. Come on, conservatives, what the hell is actually wrong with you? Everyone's going, this is the hill I'm going to die on. We must protect Amber Rose. Matt Walsh, what you said is unacceptable. Amber Rose is a good person. Everyone's welcome on the Trump train. Sure, but the problem is you're giving a primetime speaking slot for all the wrong reasons. But anyway, you do you, boo. Seriously. And end up suffering the consequences as a result. Good or bad, who knows? We'll wait and see. Anyway, Matt Walsh continues. The evolution from new conservative to conservative thought leader takes about 12 hours these days. I am merely suggesting that perhaps it should be a bit longer than that. I have the entire modern history of the conservative movement as evidence to support my position. If a primetime speaking slot at the Republican convention does not count as being presented as a thought leader, then what the hell does? I'm fine talking about this, but the intentional obtuseness is a bit annoying. Right, Donald Trump just survived an assassination attempt as he runs against a senile vegetable whose own party has abandoned him. But the thing that they really put this election over the top is Amber Rose. Yes, that's what I mean. Like, all the voters are going to be like, oh my goodness, Amber Rose is the crucial turning point for Donald Trump. Her 24 million followers on Instagram, which, by the way, not all those 24 million followers are going to see Amber Rose's take. I'm just saying, the algorithm doesn't allow you to access the 24 million followers all at once. That's just not how it works these days. So this whole idea of we're going to change all the voters' minds, it's so hard these days to change people's minds. Amber Rose doing that is going to take a lot more than just Amber Rose getting up there and saying, vote for Trump because I'm doing that. If you got somebody that absolutely hates Trump, I don't think Amber Rose going, I had a difficult time with this, but I changed my mind, so vote for Trump. I don't think that's just going to be the only thing that's going to turn somebody over to Trump. Please, learn a little bit of psychology. Anyway, King Bob says, you said all that and then missed the point. Incredible. I don't think Matt Walsh actually missed the point, but anyway, I've always had massive respect for you, but you're being a total, what about this? Who the hell do you think you are to be the moral arbiter of how someone is allowed to vote? Well, it's not about, he wasn't talking about how Amber Rose is voting. It's literally about the fact that the RNC gave her a speaking slot to talk about it. And I mean, I don't care one way or another. That's what I'm just saying. I'm pointing that out. I don't really care. But the fact is everyone is just blown up over this for a ridiculous reason. Who the absolute F do you think you are to claim to be a devout Christian and then sneer at a woman who, whilst she may not have reached the destination, has recalibrated it is on the right path? I don't think he is sneering at her. I think he's raising some very important points. Now, whether or not she has repented and moved forward, that remains to be seen. We don't know her heart, and fair enough. All Matt Walsh was trying to say and point to the fact is, look, you're going to give a person a public prime-time speaking slot at the RNC. Make sure that person actually significantly aligns with all the values within the Republican system or the conservative system, and not just the fact that you like Donald Trump and you're voting for Donald Trump. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion. Her speech said she has realized that whilst she believed Trump was all things she was told he was, she's done her own research and changed her mind. And that is exactly what everyone should do. That's a hell of a lot more grown up than you're being. My goodness, mate. Just the way the right attacks the right is honestly absurd, if you ask me. But anyway, Gad Sad, who I actually really appreciate and have a high level of respect for, he said this. I'm going to have to disagree with this take. As I've explained on numerous occasions, there is nothing more difficult than to change someone's deeply anchored opinions. And yet, Amber Rose was able to do so. She did it for herself, though. I don't think she's doing it for other people. She may be a little bit of influence, and that's better than nothing. But to change someone's viewpoint completely, that's a different story altogether. And I think it takes a lot more than just Amber Rose. But anyway, if Amber Rose is the one that plants a seed, fantastic. This should be encouraged. One might disagree with some of her positions, but it is important to erect a large welcoming tent to people who wish to reevaluate their political affirmations. And look, I'm not saying that we shouldn't welcome Amber Rose at all. I'm just saying, like, maybe it's not a good idea just yet. Maybe next year at the next RNC or whenever they have RNC, or whenever they have Republican National Conventions. I don't know. Whenever they have the next one, give her some time. But I think they've rushed the gun a little bit and gone, oh, Amber Rose, 24 million followers. Please, can you speak at the RNC? Share your story. I don't think that's necessarily a hugely bad thing, but I just don't think it's the right time just yet, considering the conversion has been quite recent and soon. Good for Amber Rose. But anyway, the RNC will do whatever the RNC does. I don't think we should be attacking Matt Walsh over a point that he raised, which is actually a fair point. Anyway, conservatives just need to get their heads out of their backsides most of the time and look towards Jesus ultimately. And maybe some people are also going, well, the Christian response here would have been a kind response. But I think Matt Walsh has raised important issues that need to be addressed before giving a person a public platform to share. But anyway, I'm happy to be wrong as well. And if people want to attack me for trying to speak a little bit of sense into the whole situation, then so be it. Anyway, my friends, you take care, you be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.